All right, hey there, scholars. Today is Tuesday, October 15th, and I just want to do some examples with you to help you out with tonight's math homework. So today we began chapter 2, which is all about division. And before we begin, I just want to do some vocabulary that is very important for you to know before we begin. All right, so first and foremost, when we have a division equation, we always have a dividend being divided with a divisor. When we divide, we're trying to create equal groups of our divisor in order to come up with the answer or the quotient. The quotient is the answer when we divide. And sometimes when we divide, there might be a remainder or something that is left over after dividing into equal groups. So let's begin this work. I taught you a strategy that you can use today for your homework and forever when you divide. In fourth grade, you might have learned a standard algorithm to divide. This example in my notebook, this is a standard algorithm. I also want to teach you, if you are more of a visual learner like myself, I really appreciate using visuals or pictures to help me solve. So I want to do a couple examples with you using both of these strategies. The first strategy being a standard algorithm and the second being a place value chart. All right, so I'm going to solve the same division problem using two different strategies. So first we'll use an example use an example of 3 as my divisor and 927 as my dividend. Here, let me zoom in a little bit so you can see a little bit better. Okay. First, I'm going to solve using a standard algorithm. This is the way that perhaps you were taught in fourth grade. This is also the same way that your parents learned to divide, so they will be able to help you with this at home. So first and foremost, I want to examine each place value and ask myself, how many multiples of my divisor will go into each one of these digits? So I'm going to ask myself, well, 3 groups of how many will equal 9 or get me close to the number 9 without going over? Well, I know that 3 times 3 is 9. And when I subtract, 9 take away 9 is 0. And then I can bring down my next digit, which is the tens place, which is 2. My next step, I'm going to ask myself, okay, how many groups of 3 can I make with 2? Well, I know I can't make any groups of 3 with only 2. So that'll be a 0. 0 times 3 is 0. When I subtract, I still have that 2, but now I have my ones place to join me. Now I'm going to ask myself, how many groups of 3 can I make with 27? Well, I can skip count with 3s until I get to 27, or I can just use mental math to know that 3 times 9 is 27. So my quotient, or my answer when I divided, is 309 with a remainder of 0. There are no left over after I equally divided. All right. Now, if you are a visual learner, I'm going to use the exact same equation, but using a different strategy. I'm going to use a place value chart to solve. So my dividend is 927. Sorry, I'm trying to straighten this out. Okay, 927. Let's hit the screen here. Sorry. Okay. Which is a ones, tens, hundreds place. Okay. So ones place, tens place, and hundreds place. Make a quick place value chart, and I'm going to use place value discs to represent the dividend. So my dividend is 927. There's 9 in the hundreds place. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's 2 in the tens place, and there's 7 in the ones place. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Now, my divisor is 3, so I am going to make groups of 3 in each of my place value columns. So I'm going to count off 1, 2, 3. Here's a group of 3. 1, 2, 3. Here's a group of 3. And 1, 2, 3. Here's another group of 3. I made 3 groups of 3 in the hundreds place. Watch how that correlates with the standard algorithm. 3 in the hundreds place. 3 in the hundreds place. Amazing. Now I have no leftover place value discs, so now I'm going to move to my tens place, and I'm going to make a group of 3. 1, 2. Uh-oh, there's only 2. I cannot make a group of 3 in the tens place. So I cannot make any groups of 3 in the tens place. Let's see how that correlates to the standard algorithm. Oh, I also could not make any groups of 3 in the tens place. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these 2 groups of 10 and I'm going to move them over to the ones place. I do this because I know that one group of 10 is the exact same thing as 10 ones. So this will move over to the ones place. This is one group of 10, so I'm going to visualize it as a group of 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I have another group of 10 in the tens place I could not use, so I'm going to move that over to the ones place as well to be a group of 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So those 2 groups of 10 go to the ones place now as a group of 10. Now I can make groups of 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Wow, I made a lot of groups of 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I made 9 groups of 3 in the ones place. Let's see how that correlates to my standard algorithm. Wow, there was 9 in the ones place there too. So either way you solve this division problem, whether it's a standard algorithm or a place value chart, the quotient is still the same. The quotient is still 309 with no remainder. If you're still not feeling too confident with division, please do not fear. Today was the first day. I promise you we will continue working on this throughout the rest of the chapter. Okay, so do the best that you can, and I will check in with you guys tomorrow. Have a great night.